This is my last Halloween box card assembly video for October, and it's called the Pumpkin Box Card. This box card has two different boxes that are glued together, and so when you fold it, like one will fold and then the other will fold, and they can go in opposite directions or the same direction. It doesn't really matter. I just hope that whoever receives this card will know that you have to, open it in the direction like that. So I'm sure they will. So anyway, the box card is from Sweater Weather box card set, and the pattern, the only pattern on here is on the back, and it's the pumpkin one, and then I used a pumpkin button on here, and it's mostly all like solid orange and green. I did the inking on the orange because there's so many different layers. These have the Zots on the to separate them, and they're supposed to give like dimension, but they're kind of flat. So this is the first time I used the Zots to create dimension, which is what they did on the SVG Cuts website on their assembly video. But I did not like the result, and it seems like the Zots have flattened out. So, and also I started to outline these leaves. These leaves were a lot lighter of a green, and I was outlining them with the inks, and it just didn't look good. So I just rubbed the whole thing with the brush, the ink brush, and it just made it all a solid color, a little darker than it was. But I mean, I really think that the only thing that needed the inking was the orange. So let's get started making this box card. And usual, these are the tools that I'm going to use, which is same as every other project. I got my Zots for my button. I have my double stick tape for the envelope with my scissors, my glue, and that's all the tools that I need to make this card. Okay, so I have to start over because for some strange reason my Bluetooth earbuds turned on and basically hijacked my microphone. So anyway, so this I already put on before. When I was watching the video, or when I was figuring out how to put this card together, Mary from SVG Cuts, in her PDF file, she didn't give any information on how to assemble this card. All she did was put on the image of all of the different layers. So I had to go to her assembly video to watch and figure out how to put this together. So she said in her video that this piece can only go on this piece on that side. And so I've put that on, and I put the message part on, and now I'm going to put this part on this side. And in order to do that, I have to line up the curved part of this goes at the top, and the less curved part goes at the bottom. So I have to line this up along this left edge, and then I can put that way, and then just go like that, glue it together, and make sure it's lined up perfectly. And then I'm going to take this side and do the same exact thing. I'm going to line it up perfectly, and if it is perfect, then it will fold down right. now that it's on perfect because it folds down completely on both sides. So the next thing to do is I'm going to set these off to the side, and this piece will now, this should line up with this. Yeah, so now this piece is going to go this way. So I'm just going to line it up there like that, and then push that in, I guess. Well, maybe that's not going to work. So this will just go on here like this. I mean, I would like to line it up, but I don't know if that's even possible. So I'm just going to set it on the table and then hope for the best. It's got to line up with the top and bottom, because when it sits down on the table, it's got to be able to stand up. So that's good. Now this is going to get put off to the side, and then, well, actually this can go right on top of here now, but I'm not going to put the leaf on just yet. So I'm going to put this on. And also I had to turn off the video because my phone was overheating, because I use a mirror, I use Let's View, which mirrors my phone screen onto my computer so I can watch what I'm doing, but I had to disconnect or turn that off because it was overheating my phone. So there's, see, I had put the inking along the edges. It doesn't look that great, but it's fine. So that's going to go off to the side. This side is going to be, I'm going to put this on with glue. I'm going to use the Zots on this card because that's what Mary did. But I'll show you one problem that I have with this technique that I had with the other ones that I did. Wait a minute, is this even on right? Wait a minute, that's not right, is it? Yeah. I don't know why that didn't look right to me. That was so weird. It did not look like it belonged there. Well, it's not on perfect, but I mean, at least it belongs there. Okay, so that piece is on, and now I'm going to put this piece on top of here, but I'm going to use the Zots. The reason why the Mary used the Zots on these is because it gives it a little more dimension. But my problem is that when I put these Zots on, it doesn't give it dimension. It just sits flat on there. And also, she took these off like this, and like she had no problem, but I can't do that. I don't know how she's able to do that and how I'm not able to do that at all. So she put 3 of them on here. And the third one, and I have to peel them off there because it's easier to do it. All right, so this one is just going to go right on top of here, just like that. And then this piece, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on real quick. I have to go close the hallway door because the cooler got turned on and it opened the hallway door. Alrighty then, so the next piece is going to go on the same exact way, except I put on the Zotz like this. I'm going to do it in the opposite direction, so I'm going to go like this. Although she probably only used 2, but I think that she only used 2, so maybe I'll just use 2 instead of 3, because it's really a small piece, so it doesn't need that many. So this is just going to go on top of here like this. And see, you can kind of see some dimension on this one, but I don't know, maybe the paper is a little more curled up on this one. But when I looked at the other ones that I made, they didn't curl up like that. Okay, so this piece now is going to get glued onto the back of this just like the other one did. Excuse me. I want to make sure that I've got it on right because the other one I had folded wrong. So let's see. Yeah, I think I folded this one wrong too. Let me try this way. See, this is a little difficult to figure out sometimes. Well, that's not going to go that way. I have it like that. This is the way it's supposed to be. So maybe let me check this again. Yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be, I think. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look right. Yeah, I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go. So I'm just going to hold this up like that and then fold it down like this, like before, and then just put some glue on. And then just fold this down and glue the side on. Oops. Okay, so now this piece is going to glue right here on top. And this one I have to hold it like this to make sure that it goes on right. Otherwise, it will go like this. And you want it to be on the right way. You want it to be able to stand up when the recipient gets it. So it's better to just hold it up on the desk like this, or your crafting table, whatever, to make sure it goes on right. And for some reason it doesn't look right, but so as long as it's pretty much standing up as I'm putting it on, it will be right. Famous last words. That's stuck down for some reason. Okay, now the last thing is just this, and what I've got to do is just fold this a little and fold that, because these are going to go inside here like that. So these don't get glued down, just the rest of the leaf. And I had inked these green leaves around the edges, but it just did not look right to me. So I ended up taking the big inking brush and just going over the whole thing. It would have been nice if they were inked right, but for some reason I just couldn't get it right. So this card, see, I don't know if you can tell, but these are starting to lie flat, and so they're not giving very much dimension anymore. If this was pushed up a little, then it would give a lot more dimension, but that's why I inked the edges of everything, just so that you would see the dimension and see it stands up on its own. So the final thing for this card is the Zot for the button. I'm just going to put it on the right side. It doesn't matter where it goes, because most people actually don't put buttons on their cards like this. So please don't tear. It's gonna tear. There. Okay, and the button goes on there, and it's done. And now we'll do the envelope. And see, when I fold it, I'm just going to fold it like this. And here's the envelope. This one is going to be tricky because it's got a round edge. And yes, I did try it out. This is the way it's supposed to go. So I did look at the PDF, and that's the way it's supposed to go. So just gonna go here like this. I'm gonna clog again, and then a little bit on the edge of this. And then I'm going to use the wider tape, because it goes all the way to here. And so this is the edge of that, and it's going to have a big wide spot that it's going to go on. But because it's so curved, I have to put this tape on so that it curves as well. I really wish I knew how to get that type of glue that you put on, that they put on envelopes, that, you know, when you get the envelope, you lick it. That would, I think, would look a lot better than how this looks, because this does not look very good. So yeah, that looks terrible, but there's nothing I can really do about it. So that's this card. That was really easy. It didn't take very long, although I had to look up on the Cricut Design Space to figure out where which way everything was, you know, on there, and how to. I had to look to make sure that I was putting these layers on here. But other than that, it's pretty easy, and it just goes in here flat like this. And that's that card. So that concludes my final box card assembly video for October. The box cards are, to me, I think a little more special than a card you'd get at the store. Hallmark has some pretty nice box cards, but I really like the way these look. They're different. They're not something that you would see in the store. And I would imagine not a lot of people would receive one of these cards, because you know, the only way to get these cards is to make them or to buy them on Etsy if somebody sells them. So that's literally the only way you're going to find one of these cards. And I enjoy making them. I think it's fun. I like making things for other people. And every time I've given out one of these cards, whether it's a birthday card or a Christmas card or Halloween, Valentine's Day, people rave about them because they're just so different. So I enjoy making them, and I hope you enjoyed watching me put them together. And I'm not quite sure I want to do Christmas because I have 20 cards. This month I only made 11 Halloween box cards. I have 20 Christmas cards. I'm not quite sure I want to tackle that. So anyway, so I'm gonna think of something else to do and try to get back on here with something else fun, and so I'll work on that. So thank you so much for watching, and happy Halloween.